I wanted to pose this question because I've had it in my mind, and I'm going to argue in the affirmative. I'm going to argue for it. So if you guys want to play voice of public opinion here, feel free, or just share whatever your true opinion is if you agree with me. But I asked the question on Twitter. 10,000 of you voted last night. And I said, look, should there be a reward for a wide receiver who draws a pass interference penalty? I remember a game last year. Michael Thomas ran about, I don't know, it was like 6 consecutive plays, and about 4 of them, he drew a PI call in the middle of the field, didn't catch any of the passes, but moved the chains.
Yeah.
And so I proposed it in this form. I said, would you be in favor of a 1-point award if your wide receiver had a pass interference call stop them from a potential reception? And I gave the option of no way, yes, just 1 flat point. You draw a penalty, you get a flat point, or yes, and you get the catch yards, right? Because that would be an argument.
Right.
And what was amazing to me, have you guys seen that poll?
I'm
do
looking
you know
at
the
it right
results?
now.
Okay.
I'm looking
I
at
was
it.
going to have you guess, but the people who said no, they were extremely passionate about their no. I actually believe the answer is yes, not the yards. We don't presume the catch and the yardage, but in my opinion, if you move the chains by drawing a penalty, you are because that's the argument people were giving. It's not a catch. You can't presume a catch. People drop the well, yeah, you're not giving them the yards. And where does it stop was the other objection. You know, does the quarterback get credit for the pass that didn't get completed? How do you,
right.
You know, but to me, we reward things based on what they do to affect a team. You are moving the chains. You are moving the ball down the field. And I don't think 1 point would be something extreme that disrupts it. We give 2-point bonus for a 40-yard touchdown. Well, you don't really get 2 points in the NFL if you go for over 40, right?
Right. I've heard people argue in the affirmative.
Where do you weigh in on that? Because, by the way, the vote was 46% yes, 46% no way.
I've heard it argued in the past that should count as a reception for a wide receiver, which I think is nonsense. Absolute and utter nonsense.
I agree with
that. I agree with that, too.
I'd fight against that to the end of the world. I don't like that. But the idea of giving, just the 1 point for the, and I would say, look, if you're in a half-point league or whatever, maybe you want to do a half point, full point in a PPR. Basically, you're giving them a reception for no yards. I like that. I think it is worthy because there's nothing more frustrating than when you've got the guy and he's targeted and it's going right to him. It's going to be a big play, and some defender comes and just kicks him in the ribs and cheats. And it's like, but that what?
I think it should be 2 points.
I would give it a point.
I would go 2 points because I don't have raw data because I haven't dove into pass interference calls. But to me, pass interference, the likelihood of that being called on a 5-yard reception or even a 10-yard reception, I feel like it leans far more to big plays. So to me, I think that 2 points is fair. This is one of the things that, along with how I feel about quarterback rushing, passing yards, scoring discrepancies, pass interference calls should be rewarded for the wide receivers. I wouldn't give any points to the quarterback. I would say this play is completely in the hands of the wide receiver. He's the one who drew the PI. He was in the right place. Give him. To me, it's 2 points. But I'm also fine with the 1 point.
I'd give him a half or a point. I can't imagine a situation where I'd want to be rooting for the 5-yard slant route to be a pass interference over a catch. I don't want a situation where I'm actually advantaged by a pass interference. It does happen.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, yes, it happens.
You could take the opinion of the B-More dude who says might as well award players that win their games a 50-point bonus. That's how he views the proposed change.
Wow. Do you not see how PI changes a game?
Darren says Torrey Smith would be the 101 for his former days of drawing pass interference calls.
How many pass interference calls actually happen in a season for one wide receiver?
Joseph said that's like in basketball giving an assist to the person who's fouled if they make both their free throws. I said, to me, it is almost exactly like that.
For the quarterback, yes.
Right. If you gave it to the quarterback. It's interesting, though, because there were some very strong opinions. I think in today's NFL, if you draw a pass, I mean, look, the best receivers draw them, right? So
Right.
that says there's something about what you're doing on the field. I think it should be rewarded. I thought it was an interesting debate, regardless.
The NFL thinks they should be rewarded.
Right.
That's
They
why.
are
That's why
rewarded.
it's full yardage and not just a 15-yard penalty like it is in college.
It's
You
true.
said here's 60 yards because you probably should have caught that.
Yeah, that's true. The NFL does say that.
Thank you so much for watching that video. It would make me so happy if you watched more of those videos. So click subscribe, ring that bell, and make your life a little better today.